Today we are doing session 27 of Word Power Made Easy. The first word is ventriloquist, which comes from the roots ventris, which means belly, plus locur or locus, which means to speak. Ventriloquist means someone who can speak from belly. You've usually seen that during puppet shows, the people who hold puppets in their hands and they do not move lips but they speak. So usually they speak from the belly and they are known as ventriloquist. The next word is ventral. Ventral is something which is referring to a belly. Like for example, a ventral side is like a stomach side or a belly side. The next word is ventricle. Ventricle refers to a heart chamber. So usually belly is one of the two chambers of the heart, and ventricles of the heart are the lower chambers and which receive blood from auricles. Auricles is a word derived from a Latin root auris, which means ear, because it looks something like a ear. So it receives the blood and it sends it to the ventricles. The next word is uncle. So uncle is your mother's brother. Uncle is from a Latin word avunculus. Avunculus means something which is kind, permissive, protective, someone who takes care of you, gives you advice. So from the root avunculus, we have a word avuncular. Avuncular means kind, protective, someone who has your back. Like we have ventral, which means the front side or the stomach side. We have a back side, which comes from the root dorsal. So dorsal means something which is back side. So the Latin root is known as dorsum. From that we have one more word, endorse. Endorse has the root en, which means to put into, plus dors, which means backside. So for example, when you endorse a check, you sign on its backside. When you endorse a plan, you give its approval or you support it. The next word is vociferous, which has the Latin root vox or vocis, which means voice, plus fero, which means to bear or carry. So vociferous means a loud voice. It's loud, noisy, clamorous. The next word is somniferous. Somniferous comes from the root somnus, which means to sleep, plus fero, which means to carry. So somniferous is something which brings sleep, which is sleep inducing, which is boring. For example, a lecture at college can be somniferous if you are not interested in it. The next word is insomnia. Insomnia has the negative prefix in plus somnus. So something that does not bring sleep. It is the inability to fall asleep. You cannot sleep. You are awake. So many people have this disease, and the person who is suffering from insomnia is called an insomniac. The next word is somnolent. Somnolent. Somnolent means someone who is tired, who is ready to fall asleep. The next word is somnambulism. Now somnambulism comes from the root somno, which means to sleep, plus ambulo, which means to walk. So someone who is walking while they are asleep, like a sleepwalker. The next word is somnambulist. Somnambulist is someone who walks while they are asleep. So who has the disease somnambulism. The next word is ambulatory. Ambulatory comes from the root ambelo, which means to walk. So usually when a patient is at the hospital and he is fit enough to get out of the bed and walk around, it is referred to as he is ambulatory. The next word is preambulate or preambulator. So preambulator has the roots pre, which means through, perambulator. So it has the root per, per, which means through, plus ambulo, which means to walk. So perambulator means a baby carriage. So it is a vehicle or used for walking for an infant. So usually in nowadays we call it as a pram. The short form is pram. The next word is amble. Amble means to walk aimlessly, to walk slowly in a relaxed manner. The next word is preamble. Preamble has the prefix pre, which means before, plus amble, which means to walk. So preamble to the speech is like an introduction to the speech, like preliminary, something which gives you an introduction. So somnus is a Latin root for sleep, but there is one more Latin root which is sophor, S-O-P-O-R, which also means sleep. So sophoric, lecture, which means a lecture which is very boring or you fall asleep or drowsy, like a sophoric pill. The next word that we have is when you add the negative prefix in and Latin articulus, so it becomes inarticulate. So someone who has trouble joining words together, who cannot talk easily, who is not vocal. So with that we finish the session. Now there are a few exercises. You can pause the video and solve it yourself. So where the prefix and suffix is given, you have to find the English word for it. So you can pause the video to know if you can recollect the words that we have done. The next is match the column. The answers are given below, so you can check it. You can also comment down in the comment section some of the similar words from the roots that we have done today. You can also form sentences from the words that we have done and post or comment below. Make sure you keep revising these roots and words on a regular basis. So this is an exercise for all of the previous 4 sessions combined. So make sure you have seen previous videos and gone through the previous sessions to solve these exercises. You can pause the video and solve it, and also form sentences with that. So with that we end today's session. Thank you.